Downtown Fargo, where culture, creativity, and community collide. You've heard the headlines. Now hear what's really happening. Bringing the best of Broadway direct to you. The stories, the people, and the places that make downtown the heartbeat of our city. This is Rocky's Downtown Hour with Rocky Schneider.
Happy Friday, everybody. This is Rocky Schneider with Rocky's Downtown Hour. Happy Friday the 13th. Hopefully everybody's out there being safe, taking a little extra care today. You never know what happens on these spooky days, but we have a great show. We have a father-filled show today on Friday. There was a lot of F's in that. But yeah, we have 3 guests coming up. All of them are dads. And so we get to celebrate our dads this Sunday. And so everyone make sure if you haven't bought a present, went out and bought them a T-bone or whatever else they want, you still got time for that. But we're excited. I have 3 guests, but what I'm most excited about is our first guest is going to be Aaron Hill from the Fargo Park Board, because for 2 years now, the Island Park pool has been closed. But Monday, there's a ribbon cutting, and then they have a celebration, I think, from like 12 to 4 on Monday, and you get to come down and see the new Island Park pool. I'm going to say it's going to be the best pool in the state. I have nothing to back that up other than I drive by and it looks awesome. So we're going to hear all about that and all about the festivities that come along with it. And so if you're looking for something to do, I was asked earlier by the coffee crew this morning if you can go by yourself to the pool, and yeah, all ages, you can go. But we'll ask Aaron for all the details. I just celebrate dads and give a shout out to mine. My dad passed away a long time ago, but he worked downtown, grew up downtown, owned a business downtown, and we're on 3rd Avenue growing up, so I think most people consider that downtown now. Back when I was little, I never thought it was downtown, but now it's pretty close. And so, appreciate everything he did representing downtown Fargo in the state legislature and kind of instilling that community sense of pride in me. And I get to see it every day downtown now with all the local shop owners and the people working downtown. It's just fun to see all the people giving back to the community, just trying to make Fargo a little bit better place for people to live on their day-to-day lives. So we'll hear from 3 fathers today. We also have Sergeant Maahs with the Fargo Police Department on later on the show, and he's going to talk about their community police picnic coming up next Thursday. And then our last segment is going to be with Victor Heitkamp. He's with our team downtown with the Business Improvement District. He's the operations manager. If you don't know what the Business Improvement District, they're our hidden gem downtown. They keep that reset downtown every morning to make sure that customer experience is great and clean and everything else. And so we'll hear what a day in the life of Victor and Bid is like. And so we're excited for that. And today we have Midwest Kids Fest going on. And so I know it's a little bit rainy out there, but I understand it's still going on. I believe we've already missed the teddy bear parade. That was earlier, but at Island Park, they still have a lot of activities out there. And so if you're looking for something to do today and want to brave the rain a little bit, pack your kids up, bundle them up, and head out, grab an umbrella. Should be good. But what I've been doing all month, though, is I've been eating burgers. And I don't know if you like burgers or if your dad likes burgers. And there's a lot of Father's Day specials on all the restaurants. But I would also suggest we have this Burger Royale. I think it's FargoBurgerRoyale.com. If you want to check it out, there's 18 restaurants in downtown Fargo that all have a special burger right now. There's a lot of unique ones. I've had a number of them. I probably shouldn't admit, but I think I've had 6 or 7 of them maybe now. We do go as a team sometimes and split them 3 or 4 ways, and so we can try a couple, but there's a lot of good, unique ones. I think maybe my favorite so far has been the one I had yesterday maybe I shouldn't say my favorite. That might get me in trouble. They're all very good, but the one at Noble yesterday was particularly good. I think they made it extra special for me, but it was delicious. But they're all good, unique. Try them out. I know the Bloody Mary one at Old Broadway was good. I had it early in the day and it was pretty salty. Really wanted that chaser to go along with the Bloody Mary burger, but I didn't have that. That would have been perfect. And so check them all out. They're all delicious. And then also this weekend we have First Avenue Market has there's a mural in that alley right next to them between Worst and First Avenue Market. It's a cow mural, but they've started having events in that little alley. And this weekend they have their vintage kind of market in that alley again, and they'll have a food truck there, I think. And it was fun. I went there a couple weeks ago. A lot of good little vendors, but they also have this Renaissance Fair edition going on, and they're going to have, I don't know how they do this there, but they have hobby horse jousting and different costume shopping, and they have mead for sale. So it's a neat little store, kind of a fun activity. If you're just looking to do something casual, it's not a ticket or anything. You can just go and check it out. it's not your vibe, you can just leave. Otherwise, try something new and check it out. Another big thing going on this weekend, if you haven't, if you want to, get your nerd side out after the Renaissance Fair at First Avenue Market, you can go over to the Nerdy Rummage Sale down at Paradox. If you haven't been to the new Paradox location, it's where the old Mexican Village is on Main Avenue, right off 8th Street there. It's a huge space, and it's always packed. There's a lot of people enjoying that. Paradox, I think, I don't know how long they've been in business, 30 years maybe, I should ask them. But they've been a staple in downtown. It was fun to see them move to a bigger place. But this weekend, they have their Nerdy Rummage Sale where I think just a bunch of not, professional salesmen or anything, but a lot of people just have collections and things. They come out, sell, and rebuy different stuff. And so they have a bunch of different booths there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Check it out. It's a cool store right on Main Avenue there. It's a neat little thing. Stop at Nicole's and get something to eat on your way or after and check it out. But I'm going to ask everybody here for a quick story about their dad and how it led to what they're doing today, or how they bring that to their work with them. And I think it'll try to give a good tribute to all the dads out there. I'd love to hear, stories about downtown Fargo in the olden days. And so looking forward, we're going to try to bring in some of those people that have memories. Maybe we'll get the Stearns on to talk about Strauss Clothing, and we'll have Warren Ackley from Old Broadway on later to talk about their 50th anniversary. And I think we could do a lot more to kind of celebrate the fathers that we've all, helped us along the ways and helped us build downtown, and take a look forward and how we can continue to improve on everything they've given us. And so I'm just excited. This is the first time I think it's rained while I've been on the show. It's usually sunny, and I'm jealous that I'm not out there. But we do need that rain because we got to be thankful for it, because we all want to see the flowers and the greens. But so we got to suffer through the rain as well. But I think you can still get outside. There's still a lot to do. At least it's not smoky when it's raining. So we got that going for us. But I don't know if anybody has last minute gift ideas for fathers. I do have a father-in-law that I need to get a gift for, but I actually made one last night that I think we're going to turn into a gift. And I don't know if I should say it on the radio because he might listen, I guess. But I went and made a stained glass window last night. I got a last minute invite. My wife and her girlfriend were going to go to Bruhala and do these stained glass window classes. And so I made a walleye last night out of stained glass. Never done that before. It's pretty interesting. I had no idea how that worked, but it was a pretty easy class. They cut all the glass for you. So that's the tough part, I think. But yeah, you put the goop on, that's called like flub or some fun name, and then you solder it together. And so you get to feel like a real workman with your hands, and you come out with kind of a cool little art piece. But it was fun, all ages, all types, and you get to work with some cool tools, and you end up with a product that you don't even have to hang up in your own house. You can give it away as a gift. Those are the best ones because it doesn't look very good, but mine didn't anyways. Others looked great. And so I think that was a fun idea. I love those little classes, something to do. It ended up turning into a date night. It was a nice little outing. And I'm not sure what my family has planned for me for Father's Day. So it's always a good remind them in case my wife is listening and she forgot about it. This is a reminder that, I want to do that. But no, she actually asked me what I wanted to do this weekend. And all I told her is I wanted to smoke a brisket. I felt like that was like the manly dad thing to do on a Father's Day weekend. So I'm hoping it doesn't rain all weekend so I can get my smoker out and, spend 16 hours staring at meat while it cooks. That seems like the most dad thing I could think of to do. But we're looking forward. So coming up next, we're going to have Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill is a Fargo Park Board member. He's a father of 2 or 3, I think. But we'll ask him about that. And I know he's a big lover of parks, and they have a lot of events going on all the time. But we're just pumped for the Island Park pool opening up on Monday. I know it was a rite of passage growing up, that pool and that high dive. And so we're just pumped to talk to him and hear about all the new amenities and what that can bring. Because I know when I grew up, like, we had to be creative. We got a rectangle, right, filled with water, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And it was like, go play in this rectangle. And you go it now, and they have lazy river. They have this fly time slide. They still have the high dives, I think, and they have this like kind of kids area with slides and sprouts and everything else. And I'm like, what happened to just the rectangle and making kids be creative? But this is good. They're spoiled, and we love to spoil our kids, and so this is a good place to bring them to do it. We look forward to seeing Aaron coming up next. Everyone else, have a great Friday. Welcome back. Happy Friday, everybody. Rocky's Downtown Hour. We're joined by Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill's on the Fargo Park Board. Welcome, Aaron.
Yeah, I like your jams there.
Yeah, isn't that great? It kind of pumps you up getting into this. It's a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Good time every Friday at 11. So we're going to talk about downtown because Park District, valuable partner for our downtown, and it's probably maybe one of the biggest days for the Park District in downtown Fargo on Monday.
Yes.
What's happening Monday?
Monday. What is happening on Monday, Rocky?
There's something.
Yeah.
Do you get to hold the big scissors?
We have I don't know who's going to get to hold the scissors, but there have been some discussions about we'll just save it and see what happens. But we have our grand opening for Island Park Pool on Monday.
That's
starting
amazing.
at 12 p.m. So ribbon cutting prior to then, 12 p.m. the doors will open for the first time. I will also let people know on Sunday we are going to have like a lifeguard training. So from noon to 3, it would be like half price, so like $6 to get in. But it's limited to the first 500 people. So we just want everyone to sort of say, hey, come check it out, but also be prepared that this isn't full operation. This is where we need to be able to still kind of give our
We're going to have people camping out, I think, on Saturday, just waiting to get in line.
I'm a little worried just to, so we don't want 3,000 people to show up and then have people angry and disappointed that they didn't get in and get to try everything. But still, we do want to make sure that people know and are invited and are aware so we can kind of give it a little bit of a stress test.
So Monday, I think you have ribbon cutting at 11:30.
Correct.
And then a party at noon.
Party at noon all day.
What goes on at the party?
So we're going to have a DJ. There's going to be photos. There will be some giveaways while they last, and there'll be free ice cream while it lasts.
Do people get to swim at the party tour? Is it just like a tour, like look around?
No, hopefully they'll swim. I mean, you don't have to. We're not going to force people to swim. I mean, if you come, I might throw you in the pool, but they don't have to.
That
but
works.
yes, people will be able to swim and use all the features and amenities.
Cannonballs!
Exactly.
Yeah, that's been great.
Yeah, we'll see. I still haven't gone down the fly time slide yet, and that thing looks pretty aggressive, and so I think people are going to need to be aware of that. And we people are going to have to sign a waiver before they can go down that slide as well.
Okay, so explain. It's fly time slide.
Yes.
I don't think that's a regular occurrence for people. So what is a fly time slide?
So it is a slide that has a pretty aggressive drop. So it's on the same platform as like our other traditional water slide. But basically you go down the slide, and for people watching, you can see my hands here, but you go down the slide and then it basically launches you up at about I think it's about a 7-foot high angle. So it basically launches you up into the air, and then you land in the deep end of the pool.
That's amazing. We're going to have like a competition, I think, out there and just see who can get the best, poses or dives.
Absolutely. There should be, or I think distance, obviously the heavier, physics, right?
Yep.
The more you weigh, the further you go.
I'm going to go for the biggest splash.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of different things we can do with that slide. And so that slide came about, we solicited the community and said, hey, we need to redo this pool. What does everybody want to see? And the feedback was, we want something that doesn't already exist in the community. So please try to find something that's unique. And that water slide in particular is very unique. And actually, I think it's the first, or it's the only slide that I want to say is even, I don't know if it's Wisconsin Dells is the closest one. It's more of like it's more of like a water park slide than it is more of like a community pool slide. But it'll be unique, and I think kids are.
I think the best part about it though is you said it's on the same like ladder system as the other slide. So if you get up to the top and you're looking down and you're like, nope,
never mind.
I'll just do the tube one. The tube one's huge too.
Yes, it is.
Very cool. You can drive by right now, see the big green water slide.
Yes.
So can't go wrong.
No. So you'll have two options up there, and then this pool will. So this will be the only lazy river that will be in the community as well. So lazy river, and as I think as you'd mentioned earlier before I came on, there will be kind of the the splash pad area for younger kids. Adults should be able to bring kind of chairs into that. It's kind of that zero gravity sort of area for like toddlers, young kids. And I was talking to our aquatics director the other day, and he said too, they're going to have certain times where they'll sort of like, they'll have more like sensory times available where things are like quieter. And so some of the younger kids, or if there are some sensory issues with children, that they have opportunities to be able to come in and enjoy the pool as well. Where the music is down and it's quieter.
Yep, that's important too.
Yeah.
I heard from him as well. And I think he was talking to me about some sort of don't know if you want to call it exercise class, but using the lazy river to kind of walk in reverse against the lazy river.
Yes.
And I thought that was a cool idea.
Yes.
All ages, yeah.
So especially for our senior citizen population, you know, you want more lower impact. And so aquatic exercises are very beneficial. And the other nice thing about the system that we have is it's not concrete. It's more of like kind of a rubber sponge thing too. So there's even less, you know, you're not even pounding on concrete. It's a little softer. There's more give there. But yeah, you'll have a lot of people. I was out, there's a beautiful water park in Dickinson, and a similar thing, you know, you have people that'll go out and use it to sort of walk against the current, you know, for resistance. And then maybe you do a lap or two with the current. And then reverse. And so there's going to be a lot of opportunities.
You grew up going to the Island Park pool too, right?
Well, I actually grew up in Minot. So I went to elementary school in Minot. Oh. So I went to Roosevelt pool in Minot. Oh,
you didn't get to visit here? Was it just a rectangle, like Island Park pool?
No, we had a water slide. We had a water slide and a high dive. So we were pretty fancy in Minot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just for the record, then Fargo is not the spoiled community apparently back then. It was Minot. But yeah, you know, I grew up with the Island Park pool. I love Island Park, and that high dive was the rite of passage for everybody. And so it's one of those things where, you know, this has been a long time coming because it hadn't changed, I think, in 40 years. Basically.
It was well past its lifespan, and part of, you know, that was kind of right as I was coming on the board at the time, and we were still going through the process and deciding the features. And I mean, the corner of the pool was like sinking, and I mean, it was not in great shape, and it was time to obviously give it a facelift. And so I think, you know, to go from the rectangle, the box, to this is obviously a big change, but we want to make sure that the lap swimmers know that we still have that 50-meter competitive pool. There's 8 lanes, so the FM Gators, you know, the competitive swim team, they're still going to be able to have their outdoor meets there, which will be great. And then, you know, kind of when we do have that sort of fly time slide open or some of those things, well, the lap swimmers will be able to go the other way. They'll be able to go 25 meters instead of the full 50. We did keep the platform. That was huge as well. So it can still be a rite of passage.
That's perfect.
For those kids.
And you got 3 kids of your own. So
I have 3,
assume you're going to go there with them and show off. And
obviously, I have to lead the way, and then, you know, let dad go first. And,
all right. So do you have a dad memory for all of us fathers? What your father bring you to the pool? Do you have a pool memory or summer memory with your dad? Or maybe how'd you get into parks? Your dad must have been a fan of parks too.
You know, my dad was a big fan of sports and officiated all the sports. He played football at Minot State, and so I think that was kind of how I got involved. And actually, when I was in high school, I got a job at the park district working at Lindenwood Park as a baseball supervisor for the youth baseball program.
Very cool.
So I started there in 9th grade. I did that all the way through college. I got into basketball officiating, so it was kind of more on the recreation side of Parks and Rec.
Well, what I always tell people about downtown is the same about parks. It's like that's where memories get made in communities, and that's where you fall in love with your community because you love their parks. You know, wherever you can make memories, that's what makes it home, right?
Yeah, and that's our. You know, we just came out with a new mission statement, and it's growing community through places, spaces, and experiences. So, you know, we had kind of an event at the pool the other day, and I feel like that project specifically hits all 3 of those. You think about it, right? And think about the memories that are going to be created for all ages, for all types of people, and first jobs, lifeguards. We had Steve Hulbert come out and kind of tell his story of the original Island Park pool. That
Very
was,
cool,
you know, where the concrete it's a tennis court now.
Yep. Jerry Sherling.
Yeah. And he was telling these stories about being a basket boy, as they were called back then. I mean, so it was just amazing to watch all these memories come out. It's how he met his wife, because she was a basket girl. And, you know, you just think about, now there's going to be a whole new generation that's going to have similar memories at this space. And then with the backdrop of being Island Park.
Yeah. And I mean, just for everybody else downtown that's listening to, I mean, Island Park being closed was a huge hit to downtown. I mean,
for sure.
We track all the traffic and things, and, you know, these aren't all attendees numbers, but we had there's something like 50,000 visits that we lost because of Island Park being closed the last 2 years. So that's, you know, people going to the pool, parents dropping off, you know, picking up, going to run errands afterwards, bringing people to lunch, you know, at Rhonda's guys, or go get ice cream,
coffee,
or whatever else.
All the retailers in that area, and I think we're anticipating some pretty big traffic this summer. And it isn't, you know, we talk about too, this isn't just a neighborhood pool or an amenity. This is a community amenities, and this will be a draw for people from the region. I'm excited about when people visit Fargo and they look around, they're here for a tournament or just the weekend or whatever. What do we do? and they're going to go, well, that looks kind of neat. And all of a sudden now they're downtown, they're at Island Park, they're looking at this awesome investment that our community made. And all of a sudden people are going, hey, I see you, Fargo. I see what's going on.
Okay, so we got the grand opening party, come down, 11:30 ribbon cutting, 12 o'clock, 12 to 4, I think,
12
on
to 4
Monday.
PM, correct.
But if people want to look at parking passes or rates, or if they're planning a trip to Fargo and looking at where do they find more information?
Yep. So you can just go to fargoparks.com. We have all of our pass information there. You can find daily rates. You can find family passes. There's a lot of information there. After Monday, we'll go, the regular hours at Island Park will be 12 to 4 p.m. This is Monday through Friday, 12 to 4 p.m. and 5 to 8 p.m. And then Saturdays and Sundays will be 12 to 6 p.m. at
Awesome.
Island Park Pool.
Thank for coming on. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you
too,
on
Rocky.
Monday.
Appreciate you having me on.
Thanks. And next up, we'll have Sergeant Maahs with the Fargo Police Department. Happy Friday, everybody. We have a Father's Day filled episode today. We have Sergeant Maahs, Jacob Maahs with the Fargo Police Department, father of 2 on the radio. Thanks for joining us.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So how long have you been on the force?
I've been with Fargo PD for 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, and how old are your kids?
I've got a 5-year-old boy and a 2-year-old daughter.
Very exciting. So we're here to talk about, you guys have, this is one of the best events we have in downtown every year. It's the community picnic that the Fargo Police put on next Wednesday. What goes on at the community picnic? Everyone's invited?
Absolutely. We're super excited. This year especially, we are celebrating 150 years for the Fargo Police Department. So it's really just a community celebration. And next Wednesday, June 18th, 5 to 8 p.m., downtown Fargo in Broadway Square. We're going to have the place packed. There's going to be a ton of fun activities for the families, for kids. Really looking forward to it. We've got some free food, games, live entertainment, and ton of different police activities and equipment for the kids to see. It's going to be really cool.
And it's not just, police. I feel like you have sort of all the first responders represented. You have all the vehicles down there. I know my 8-year-old loves to come down and walk through the different whatever SWAT vehicles or the police vehicles and just see them all and kind of get to interact.
Yeah. There's going to be Fargo Fire is going to be there, Sanford Ambulance, SWAT team, some local nonprofits, as well as some other community partners there as well. So it's a really cool community event. We're going to bring a lot of different people there.
And it's 5 to 8 o'clock, but you don't have to, it's not like a ticketed event. You don't have to come for the 3 hours. Come anytime. It's very open house style.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Certainly though, if you want to make sure you get into our coloring contest, some of the different food items that we might be having there. I heard that we've got some special blue donuts from Sandy's Donuts going to be there. Limited quantities though, so if you want to get in on that, you might want to get there early.
I love the leaning into the donuts. Might as well, right?
We love donuts.
And Sandy's is amazing. So yeah, blue donuts. I had a funny story about my kid first time having a blue donut and what that does to your digestion system. It changes every color of everything, and so it can be a little shocking.
Yeah,
if
we
you're
don't
not
like to
used
think
to
about
that.
part.
The blue donuts are delicious, and so yeah, Fargo Picnic, Broadway Square, 200 block of Broadway. If you haven't been to Broadway Square, it's a perfect time to come on down. Meet your local police force. We're fortunate in downtown because we get to see you guys out on the street. I think in a lot of places around town, you end up having to drive by a lot. You don't get out of the vehicles as often. Downtown, it's a little more pedestrian, so we get to see you guys have your new electric trikes downtown. So when I say electric trikes, I feel like people have this image in their head of a lot of different type of things.
Yeah.
What are these? As we heard in the radio or on the news a lot this last couple of weeks.
Yeah, something we're really excited about. We just got these. They're electric scooters. We call them trikes. They've got 3 wheels, and it's kind of a platform that the officers stand on. Each wheel's got their own hub motor in it, and they've really just helped out. We've been using them a little bit already this summer, but they're so great for mobility in the downtown area, especially getting through tight quarters, alleyways, into the parking ramps. We can take them off-road even, and then even through like skyways and into buildings as well. So they're super versatile. The officers are having a blast getting used to them. And they certainly catch the public's attention too when we ride past on them.
Yeah, and I think we've been looking forward to these for a long time, and we've seen them used elsewhere. And downtown, it just makes sense. I mean, we want to be able to see the police and interact with the pedestrians and be on the sidewalk when needed. Down, like you said, all these smaller areas. Also, downtown, just with traffic, when you have a police car, when you have to pull over, it kind of messes with traffic, and then you kind of just become, a nuisance to some that are trying to get through it. These are kind of the best of both worlds, and you guys zip around on them. I mean, you can be slow, but they go up to like 40 miles per hour too. So they're not getting away from you.
No, it's certainly not just for show. I mean, we've been finding that it is significantly reducing our response times to calls because we can cut through corners that we wouldn't be able to in a full-size squad car. So,
and you're going to have these on display at the picnic.
Absolutely. We'll have
People can't try them out though yet, right?
No. We'll have the trikes there. We'll also have motorcycles, some of our specialized police vehicles as well that the kids can check out and look inside. So it'll be really fun.
So do you guys do like wheelies, go up on 2 wheels on them or 1 wheel or anything like that?
Hopefully
nothing
not.
wild and fun yet?
I think if the wheels come off the ground, we're going to have a problem. But
maybe we get you at Island Park Pool and go down that fly time slide in one and just launch. Yeah, that'd be fun. No, just
I'll sign somebody else up for that.
So no, and also you're going to show off the new police, the road barricades that we do when we have events and closed roads. We have these fancy, very protective barricades now that, unfortunately it's a reality that people take wrong turns, or rightfully or wrongfully, purposely sometimes they drive through events. And so this will be a stopper of cars.
Yeah, really excited to get to test these out. So it might look a little bit different if you're driving into the downtown area. You're going to see these bright yellow barrier systems on the roadways. And it's really, really neat. They're really quick to deploy. Easy to set up and take down. So we're very fortunate that the city was able to acquire those and able to help us keep the community safe when we're having these special events in the downtown area or across the city.
No, I like what you said too. I mean, for a lot of drivers, it's just about awareness. Like we're so used to the different signs, yield signs or stop signs. You see those without seeing them because you just know what they look like. These are going to be new and everyone's going to go, well, what's that? Can I drive through that, drive around that? And so I think that education is so important, and that's why I love the picnic too. It's not just a way for kids to have fun and get to meet everybody, but we hear about these things in the news and see them deployed some places. But you can interact, you can kind of take a look at it, touch it, feel it, and realize like, yeah, I don't want to drive over that.
Yeah, no, it'll be very obvious. You're not gonna want to try to drive through these. So,
and I know for street fair, we're planning to use those all over the place. They'll be very visible, and I imagine we'll get 100,000 people to see them, and hopefully that'll help get the word out too. So what are your partners? You have a lot of partners at this event too. What are they showing off?
Yeah, expect to see some other public safety type vehicles. I do want to give a big shout out to our event sponsors. So Sanford, XL Energy, Old Dutch, Cask Clay Creamery, Games to Go, and Sandy's Donuts, obviously.
Yeah. So I heard Bouncy House is in there too.
Yes, that's a huge hit. My kids love that. It's definitely going to be a highlight. There'll be a ton of inflatable games there with officers going to be helping out with those as well. So kids can interact with the officers. They can jump on the bouncy games, get some snacks.
And so the event's 5 to 8 next Wednesday at Broadway Square. I know we have information on our site at downtownfargo.com. Assume it's on the city website too, or on police Facebook page.
Yeah, that's going to really be the best way to stay informed for the event. Follow us on Facebook. We've got this event pinned right at the top of our Facebook page. So if you want to keep up to date on any event changes or last minute details, certainly go on there. You can RSVP, let us know you're coming. We'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys do a great job with your content on there. So I recommend everybody in the community follow their Facebook page for sure. So Father's Day, what was your father a police too? Was it a family thing, or what does your father bring to you on a daily basis at your job?
Yeah, huge shout out to my dad. Happy Father's Day coming up. I grew up, my dad was a pastor when I was growing up, so definitely was involved in a lot of community activities and really showed me kind of the passion for helping people. And I think that definitely played into how I got into law enforcement too. So
yeah, really cool. What, did you get a present for your dad still, or?
Yeah, we really enjoy getting out and going golfing.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll definitely make sure that happens again this summer.
All right, so I try to ask everybody, what's a shout out to something else? You're downtown a lot. What else is going on downtown other than police activities? I try to spread the love of downtown. There's a lot of people doing cool things, a lot of cool restaurants. What's sort of your favorites?
Yeah, well, for example, my wife and I, we just celebrated our anniversary again, and we went downtown Fargo. We hit up Spaghetti Western. I ate way too much pasta, and then hit up Silver Lining Creamery and ate way too much ice cream. But it was super good.
That's a good 1-2 stop there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the homemade pasta and all their sauces are delicious. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. What else are you working on this summer?
Yeah, we've got a ton of different events and stuff that we'll have officers out at. We're really just excited about getting downtown more, having our officers interacting with the public.
All the school resource officers are down there.
Yeah. We've got our school resource officers from the school. They're also going to be in downtown and around our community, probably fighting over who gets to ride on those electric trikes this summer. But certainly if you see us riding around, stop us, say hi, have a conversation with us. If you want to check out the trikes, we'd be happy to show them to you. So,
last week we had a concert downtown and you guys were there, and it was fun to see. We had 500-600 people there, and everyone came up and kind of wanted to interact, and it was just fun to see, like, hey, what's this? What's that do? And great way to get the message out. And the SROs, the school resource officers, ran into Officer Horner downtown, and I got to tell him that my daughter kept talking about how he got pied in the face at school for a fundraiser. And so
that's awesome.
Things you get to do. We should do one of those fundraisers downtown to pie our officers in the face.
That'd be great.
And, yeah.
As long as you're there too, obviously.
Oh, of course. Sign me up. You have a dunk tank at the community picnic.
Yes.
So if anybody's out there really wants to either be in the dunk tank or throw at a dunk tank, get some anger out at whatever you're feeling in life, or just have some fun, it's a great place.
Yeah, that's going to be a blast. You'll definitely see me there throwing some balls, trying to dunk some officers for sure.
Yeah. It's good payback. Can we get the chief in it? Is he signing up, or
hey, call him out right now? Let's do it. I'd love to see it.
I'll get in if he does. I'll admit that's safe. That's a safe bet, maybe. So
sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll look forward to next Wednesday at Broadway Square and 2nd Avenue there. The police picnic, the community picnic. Everyone's invited. Happy Father's Day. Thanks for coming on the radio, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back to our last segment here on Rocky's Downtown Hour. We have the best guest ever because him and his team make our downtown what it is every day. And I feel like they're a hidden gem. It's the secret to downtown. It's our business improvement district. We have Victor Heitkamp, who's the operations manager. Victor, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me come in.
And Victor is also a father.
I am of two. I have a daughter and a son.
And so are they old? They're adults now?
Yeah, I better not say.
They're still kid-like?
They are kid-like. They're in their 20s.
You never stop being a dad, right?
You never stop being a dad.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to look at it. Okay, so the business improvement district, we call it BID. So what is a day in the life of a bid worker? What do you guys do?
Well, to start off, we're unique because we're the only one in the Fargo area or in North Dakota. So what the bid does is it takes business owners and just downtown community, and they put in extra money just to fund more things to be done and enhance the downtown area. So a day in the life of a bid worker, it's kind of different from day to day. Like you said in the early part of the show, it's a reset. So every morning we show up, we kind of evaluate where we are, what needs to be done. We always start a day at Broadway Square. We were fortunate enough last year through the DCP, Block 9 partners, City of Fargo, Fargo Parks, the new arrangement that we have, that we start cleaning services down there right away in the morning. So our team will start their day down there, and then we'll go out onto Broadway and just do a quick run through of everything, checking garbage receptacles, picking up.
So all those public trash cans up and down Broadway, that's I think people think of the city doing garbage, but they work with the business improvement district to make it, because it's pedestrian.
Yeah.
They don't have a garbage truck that comes down and pick all those up.
Correct. And in the district itself, just so people have an understanding, it goes from 1st Avenue South to 7th Avenue North, University to 2nd Street.
Yeah, it's like 70 square blocks.
72 square blocks.
Wow.
So it's a big footprint. And there's 90 garbage receptacles that our team monitor and service every day.
And my favorite stat in that, between that and recycling, it's like 100,000 pounds in a year.
Yeah.
I don't know what that equates to, but that just sounds like a tremendous amount.
Yeah. And we track our stats from year to year, and over the last 3 years, the foot traffic just downtown has improved.
Tell me about your team.
You have
a great team.
We do have a great team. I'm very fortunate. I have 4 cleaners and 3 hospitality ambassadors. So the clean team, we work 7 days a week. One of the cleaning ambassadors is original to the program when it started in 2015. So he's on his 9th year. I'm sorry, 2016. He's on his 9th year coming up here in July. And then the rest of my ambassadors, I'm 4 years in. I have another ambassador's 4 years in. One just celebrated 3 years. So we have a pretty good tenured team. All my hospitality ambassadors will be 2 years coming up here in August. And so it's just, what makes what we do so special, I think, is just the pride and the work ethic they have. You know, our role is to enhance and make downtown vibrant, clean, maintained, safe, you know, just general things like that. But they take ownership of what they do, and it's really, to them, their downtown. And it takes a special kind of person to have that mindset. And so, yeah, super proud of my team.
I always look at them as, you guys are just really modeling what a good citizen is. It's like, you see garbage, you pick it up, you know, and you see something dirty, you wipe it off, you know. And I feel like if everyone just took a cue from that, we'd all have better communities in general. And so, but it's fun to see the pride, and maybe just to encourage everybody too, because you guys are always working hard, spraying stuff down or wiping or driving through, and you're just kind of got your heads down doing your work. But stop and say hi. They're bright blue shirts. They're all pretty personable people. Say thank you for the work they're doing, and they'll probably thank you right back for what you guys do. And so just engage with them.
Yeah, our hiring model is we don't hire for the actual working ability. We hire for personality. And so we really look for people that are outgoing. And I would say with most of my team, they're really outgoing and very personable, very friendly, always willing to help, always looking to, you know, just do whatever needs to be done to keep the downtown beautiful.
So, you know, we always, when we talk about bid, we end up talking about garbage a lot because that's just, you know, a day-to-day task. But I think the thing what people love about downtown, they don't realize that you guys do, is the beautification side. Christmas lights, for instance. I mean, you guys do all the Christmas lights, the hanging pots, the flowers. That's all under bid.
Yeah, and I would just kind of give kudos to, we have some amazing partners out there that help with all of that. So, you know, you had Aaron Hill in here. The Fargo Park District is a huge contributor to the flower baskets downtown. They maintain, hang all summer long the flower baskets for us. We work with a couple of different contractors to just beautify, you know, the planter beds with the plants that are down there. You know, we have the banner program where we work with NDSU. You know, you and I got that kicked off a couple of years ago, and we finally got the first round of banners up last year, getting ready to hang that second round of banners up. But that partnership is huge, just to bring the arts down to the downtown area. And then we also run that flag program where the bid is responsible for putting up the American flag, you know, during certain parts of the year. But we have other groups that offer, or they reach out to us because they have something going on. Like right now we have the Roger Maris Cancer All-Star week is next week. Yep. And so we have their flags up.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think what people think about downtown, they wonder, like, why is downtown all this extra stuff? And it's because, you know, a decade or more ago, the businesses got together and said, hey, we want to do this. We're the only one in the state. We changed state legislation to form one of these districts. I know, you know, you work for a company called Block by Block that does, I don't know, 160 of these around the country or something. And so it's not uncommon, but it's what makes downtowns different in a lot of ways. People are willing to give that little bit extra to work together to beautify that customer experience.
Yeah, and to plug Block by Block, that's a company I work with. They're out of Louisville, Kentucky. Back in the late 1990s, they recognized that some of the older historic downtowns were just starting to crumble and just not being kept up. And so that's how the company started, was just a company wanted to enhance their downtown, and it just spread. And like you say, we have 165 programs throughout the country, and each one is unique to the area that they serve. And so what our program here in Fargo is, you know, St. Cloud just started a program, and they modeled it after ours. They liked what we had, but it's just a little
great
different.
Because we get to take the best ideas from others, and then people get to take them from us. And
Yeah.
it's all about sharing.
Yes.
Okay, so you're a dad, but you had a dad at one point. What does he bring to you on a regular basis when you go through your work?
Well, I think the first shout out I'd give to my dad, he's a retired military guy. He was with the Happy Hooligans.
Very cool.
Come from a family of just different service backgrounds. I myself didn't serve, but very grateful for just what that background brings. So first and foremost that. But what I'd say a memory, I'm from Carrington, North Dakota, but our family moved to Fargo when I was 15. And the plug for Street Fair, Metro Drug, always had a booth, and my dad worked for Metro Drug.
Oh,
so
that's very cool.
Memory for downtown would be Metro Drug coming to
Metro
Street Fair.
Drug. All right, what's your favorite place downtown in quick 15 seconds here?
So nothing's ever that quick because I talk a lot, but I think that's a setup thing. But I'm going to say, when people ask me, what are you hungry for? I always say the hangover hash browns at Margie's Diner.
Marge's Diner. Awesome. Perfect. Well, we're looking forward to a great Father's Day, everybody. And we'll see you downtown next week for the police picnic and the opening of the Island Park Pool. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks, Dad, for all that you did for me. Take care.